Alright, here we go. I got 2 more videos in me to get me a couple days ahead of schedule. What I'm gonna have to do if I want to make my goal of being done with this well before the end of the year, I'm gonna have to buckle down on getting some videos knocked out over the weekend. The most I could potentially get out of a weekday shoot is 10 videos, and when I need at least to do 7 to stay on time, that means that I could at the very most get 3 videos ahead. And if I were to if I were to record 3 more videos and I want to be done with this by October, that means I have 1 more week of August and then 4 weeks of September, so 5 more weeks. 5 times 3 is 15. That only puts me like half a month ahead. Right now, I am currently 2 months ahead, which is further ahead than I have been, so that's good. If I add 15 to that, then that's 2.5 months ahead, which is also good. But 2.5 months from October to November, December, that'll be cutting it close. I might be done with this project come October. If I stick to this, gotta get these videos out, and if I'm able to do anything over the weekend, I need to be able to do that as well, and just crank videos out like there is no tomorrow, and reach my 24, 367, I can't think about numbers right now, goal, and then boom, I have done the thing. And so really just enjoying and excited about that. Hopefully the next project to come proves fruitful. Hopefully Compression Man proves fruitful. And hopefully maybe that's what I got out of this project at the end of the day, is a better sense of direction. Everybody talks about niching down and finding your niche and figuring out what you need to do for you and all that fun stuff. And I'm starting to really think that the thing that I need is that I needed to find what my thing was going to be. And if Compression Man is going to be my thing, then all right, let's run with it and make that my thing. I think that is what really needs to stay focused. And if nothing else, I would think that that is a valuable thing to have gotten out of it. If I can keep this channel running, but keep it running on a different format with different videos, I think that would also be interesting. And yeah, so if nothing else, I guess I can take away the fact that I learned what my what am I looking for? I learned what my niche will be, and it's not really like making cartoons is not really a niche in the traditional sense, like usually like health and fitness. They use the word niche and it's basically just a genre. Like, what genre of YouTube video do you produce? Do you produce health and fitness? Do you produce business videos? Do you produce wealth videos? Do you produce travel videos? They call them niches, but they're not all that far away from genres. And just like any sort of media, it's a lot more sellable when you divide it up into genres. Traditional creative people do not really like the idea of genres. They don't like the idea of being pigeonholed into a box. And so a lot of traditional creatives will do their best to get out of the genre thought process and be like, no, there's not genres. It's like we all make art, and our art is unique. The way that most of my thought process around genres is around musical genres. But my thoughts in terms of music genres is I think that there are the big few like parent genres that deserve their own distinctions. Your rock, your hip hop, your rap, your heavy metal, pop, techno, the ones that are very easy to distinguish from each other. And then you get into the weird subgenres, and it's just like, okay, well, this isn't really all that different from pop or whatever. Like new wave, for example, is just synthesized pop from the 80s. Like, does it need to have its own genre? Not necessarily. I am not a wholehearted believer of punk as its own genre. It's just a subsidiary of rock. It's like a rock that was popular in the 90s. And there's just so many subgenres out there anymore that it just muddies the experience. And so I believe in those few parent genres that way stick out from the rest. And then what's left is how different artists have put their own spin on those subgenres. And I think that they're on those genres. And I think that instead of subgenres, we should just recognize the actual artist as their subgenre. Because you have your template for rock, and that's all well and good. And then when you take your rock template and you add Aerosmith to it, or you add the Rolling Stones to it, or you add whomever to it, they put their own spin on it to make it unique to them. So in theory, the artist themselves is the subgenre of the genre in which they perform. And that is more so how I like to look at it than subgenreing out things until death do us part. Again, the benefit of doing that is that you get a whole heck of a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? The benefit of doing that is you get a whole heck of a lot of, like, it's easier to sell that kind of stuff. Like, if you know that you like a bluesy pop sound, instead of just looking for blues artists or looking for pop artists who make a bluesy pop, you're just like, I'm just going to look under the bluesy pop section. And it just gets very muddied very quickly. And like I said, it's all mostly just a tactic to sell better. And it's unfortunate because we're doing all this to sell better. And money makes the world go round. I'd be a fool to say that we don't have any need to make money. Like, people who say that they make art for the love of art and they don't ever intend to make a penny off of their art, I think they're full of baloney. Like, people can make art for the love of art. I'm not saying that people don't do that and that there aren't genuine people that do that. What I am saying is the people who try and pretend like they never wanted to make a cent out of their music, or that was never a thought in their mind or never a goal, I think they're being unrealistic with themselves. And it's especially something that you hear from people who have made their money. These famous artists and musicians who have made their millions and never have to work a day again in their life will be like, oh yeah, I never set out to make $1 million. I just made this album because it really touched my soul. And it's like, I'm sure that album did in some degree touch your soul, but to pretend like you didn't intend for it to get somewhere is bonkers, and it's lying to yourself, because you put the work in to make it go somewhere. It's not like you made this album, stuck it in your basement, and was like, well, that was a good therapeutic thing, I'm never taking this out of my basement, and then someone else finds it and produces it for you because they know it's great. It's like, I'm sure someone has a story like that, but that's not commonplace. And that's just the nature of the game. I make Compression Man, it is my passion right now, and every time I pump out a new episode, it makes me laugh and I feel good about the product that I'm putting out, and I love it so much. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I only made it because I thought it was funny. I made it because it was a good cartoon. I made it because I think it's a legitimate way to hopefully escape the rat race. And it could be 10 years from now that I do that. It could be 20 years from now that I do that. With any luck, it won't be nearly that long, but who knows. Thinking about, if I make 5 episodes a year in 10 years, that'll be 50 episodes. That's not bad. The original run was 50 episodes long, so I would, in a decade's time of Compression Man, I would catch up to where I was in the original run. Not thinking that the current run will not follow the original run so religiously. I'll have to look into season 2 and figure out what the highlight episodes are, and then take those out and incorporate them into the fold. But like season 1 already, I took a lot of liberties with. Well, because the first 3 episodes of Compression Man that I made, like the first one was only like a minute long, and the second one was not much longer, and the third one was a little bit longer. But essentially, when I made the first episode of Compression Man, I combined the first 3 scripts into one. So right there, I was condensing the first season. And then I skipped the original episode 5 and went straight on to episode 4. No. Well, technically episode 4 was episode 2. Then I skipped episode 5 and went to 6. And then 7. And then I think 8, 9, and 10 stayed pretty well the same. The first season of Compression Man stays pretty true to the original season. Episode 3 in the new run is its own original thing. And then from there, it all kind of, and it was cool watching, I rewatched, because I just made episode 4 in the new run, and it's a redo of episode 6 in the original. And I just rewatched episode 6 recently, and I was like, it was cool how faithful I was to that original project. And that was really awesome to go back and watch that. And then, so from there, staying nice and faithful to the original project, I'm able to kind of see, I need to finish writing season 1 is what I need to do. And then once I finish writing season 1, I need to queue up season 2 and figure out what episodes from season 2 I'm going to include in the actual run of season 2. And then from there, I will just keep doing that each season. One season is probably going to take ultimately 2 years to produce, but that's fine. That's just the reality that I need to exist in because of how long it takes my animator to pump out episodes. I will ping him again and see what he's got going on with episode 5, because he's like, well, we have 2 months until Halloween. I think we're on schedule. I was like, not necessarily. I would like to have the episode done before Halloween, not on Halloween. And so hopefully we can make that happen. But it'll be interesting to just kind of gauge it all out, see where it's going, see where it's got, and then try and continue to succeed from there. I just really hope that eventually it finds an audience of people who enjoy it, because I feel like I'm advertising the ever-living heck out of it. It's not getting great retention. People continually talk about, they're like, oh, if it's not a 50% retention rate, then it's a bad video. And it's like, I'd like to think that these aren't bad videos. Like, someone else other than myself and a select handful of friends have got to find this entertaining. Like, this can't just be that. Like, why is it so hard? And I have to remind myself, it's not even been a year. I haven't been at this for a year. I've been at this making videos in my car thing for a year, and it's done absolutely nothing for me. So it takes time, and the magical number that most people seem to assign to things or like YouTube success, is 7 years. A lot of people say on average it takes 10, but 7 years seems to be the magic number, which puts me at like 2031 before I start majorly succeeding on YouTube. And that's if I continue at my current pace, because at some point in time I intend to have children, and that might interfere with my ability to maintain the pace that I have. I talk to these dads at work who their kids are involved in all of these things, and it makes me selfishly want to have a child that's not involved in anything, because it's like, ugh, I gotta do all these, pick them up and drop them off and watch them do these things, and that sounds terrible. And it's thoughts like that that make me wonder if I'm not quite ready for kids yet. But I do feel like I am, and I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off and try my darndest to do both at the same time and see how that goes. Hopefully I can do both, and hopefully it's not just this awful thing, but we'll get there. We'll succeed. We just need to be persistent, and we just need to be ourselves. And that is all that I can hope for. So, yeah. I am who I am, and I hope to make one more video this week, and I can get thoroughly ahead of schedule. And I thank you all for stopping by as usual.